Morning, everyone. Making sure everything's picking up okay. Adjust my volume a bit. Okay. Alright, so we're going to continue with Metroid Prime 3, Corruption. Alright, so we're at the beginning of the prologue here.
All efforts to stop the meteor have failed.
I'm going to turn my volume up a minute. A little bit. Just check one thing here. It's okay, the meteor will be alright for just a second while I figure this out. Alright. Okay, now we're ready. Again, I apologize for the kind of grainy audio coming from the game. I mostly fixed that with my Prime 2 playthrough, but gotta get back in there and fix it now for Prime 3. Scan it. Excuse me. Alright, I beat Ridley in a very Gandalf-esque way, which was a ton of fun. I had forgotten about that. And now we are making my way to the sorry, the map controls are different than they were in Prime 2, so I'm struggling a little bit. Definitely gonna have to take some time and optimize this, because my frame rates are at 45, and you know they should be a bit bigger than that, a bit higher than that. Bird o'clock. Oh yes, that's right. Might. Take it a little slow at first before we start saying much about what's going on. Give some people a chance to trickle in. I really like these enemies. I think that they are pretty cool, and take a like, you can really tell that Nintendo, their design philosophy for this game was, as it is for most of their games, is completely designed around the gameplay. Oh, all these dead soldiers. Yeah, it's completely designed around the motion controls. Already got that, I think. Or not. More on that in a second. I'll wait for a lull before I start musing on game design. Oh, did I lose? Yeah, I did. I didn't know it was timed like that. Game over. Oh gosh, that's blood. That's pretty dark. Wow, I didn't did I miss like a timer going off or something? Alright, let's move. No more lollygagging.
All efforts to stop the meteor have failed. Now the defense system is back online. It remains our last chance to stop the meteor.
Stream's looking okay from a visual perspective, but man, that drop in frame rates is concerning to me. I really got to get in there, and maybe at the next save point, I'll go into the
You must get to the control tower and fire the defense
settings
cannon.
and tweak things a bit. Might have to turn down the resolution, unfortunately.
We are uploading the location of the control tower to you now.
Alright. Headed the right direction. Yeah, I don't see any countdown anywhere. It's interesting. Oh, I guess I didn't need to go that direction. I know this part of the game is quite asset heavy, so I wonder if... Oh, cutscene.
You're late. We were about to leave you behind.
The meteor is approaching faster than you think.
If we don't make it to the top in time, we can kiss this planet goodbye.
Relax, we're the good guys. Justice will prevail and all that stuff. Right, Samus? Here, let's do this.
I really like these guys. I think they did such a good job of making these characters endearing in such a short amount of time. Dark Samus comes in almost one shots my whole team. Okay, they're all right. They're all right. Does one shot my whole team. Two shot maybe. See, that's how you introduce a villain. Comes in and wrecks you. I think one of the very minor faults of Metroid Prime 2 was that you defeated Dark Samus 3 times in that game. And it doesn't, like, you see Dark Samus in this game, and obviously she has been powered up a bit, so they kind of rectify it. But, you know, going into this game, you don't have that same feeling of oh man, Dark Samus is such a huge threat. You've already beaten her 3 times, so you know what's there to fear about her. Well, there you go. Now you have something to fear about her, and you have a goal to shoot for, just like facing Vile in the beginning of Mega Man X. You now have a really strong antagonist to measure up to. And just like Raven Beak at the beginning of Metroid Dread, you have a goal to shoot for, and the enemy is intimidating. Nice job, Samus. Save the planet. One month later. Yeah, I think.
She's coming too. Can you hear me, Samus? Vital signs are stable. Welcome back, Samus. You've been asleep for quite some time. A month, to be exact. We feared we'd lost you. Thanks to your great work, Norian is now safe. At the end of the battle, we found you and the other hunters all unconscious. Our medical examinations then yielded surprising results. Your bodies are now, somehow, self-generating Phazon. What's even stranger is that there are no negative effects to your health. This led us to investigate if we could make effective use of this Phazon. During the invasion on Norian, you must have noticed some powerful troopers in new suits. They were wearing what we call Phazon Enhancement Devices, or PEDs. We integrated this same Phazon Enhancement Device into your armor while repairing your damaged bodysuit. Troopers wearing this device have Phazon pumped to their weapons from an external backpack. This gives them an extra boost in firepower. But in your case, think about it. With this Phazon coursing through your body, you can fuel the PED using your own internal energy. Pretty effective, don't you think? Why don't you try the PED now? Seal the room. Initiate PED program.
Recharging energy reserves.
Injecting one energy tanker Phazon into the PED system will activate hyper mode. Press and hold to initiate hyper mode. That's not hyper mode. Hyper mode ends and the PED tank is depleted. You can also exit hyper mode. Okay. Forgot about all of this. I've only played this game once, as I mentioned before.
You must have noticed during this test that hypermode possesses devastating power. Over the past month, we've learned the hard way just how powerful our enemies are. To deal with them, you'll need the firepower of the PED suit. Make good use of it. Now that you are familiar with the workings of the PED device, the Aurora Unit 242 would like to meet with you. There are many pressing matters to discuss. The AU chamber is located just off the command bridge. We'd better get going. Good luck. Oh, and one more thing. After 25 seconds, the safety feature automatically ends hyper mode. You'll have to keep paying attention.
Good limiter there. The Phazon suit is pretty cool. I think my favorite is still the light suit. It's probably the most unique from Metroid Prime 2, but the phase-on enhanced suit is pretty sweet too. Minor thing there. I wish they would have explained why it's limited to 25 seconds in like a lore format, like just a throwaway line like you risk overloading your natural Chozo systems or something, just something small like that. Obviously the limit on the hyper mode is to prevent you from just staying in hyper mode the whole game, from a gameplay perspective. But it's nice when gameplay mechanics match up with lore mechanics, lore aspects as well. Like in Echoes of Wisdom, the sword mechanic of like turning into the hero was a really cool mechanic, but it matched up lore-wise because you had to transform into the spirit of the hero to use a sword effectively, but gameplay-wise, it was a little bit too powerful in my opinion. The limiters on it were not there. It was too easy to just drink a bunch of shakes and and only use that. I forget we're not just scanning things anymore. We got to actually interact with them. Okay, yeah. So what I was saying before all the cutscenes and whatnot, hopefully I won't get interrupted again, was that the Nintendo's design methodology, I guess if you can call it that, when making games, they said this in a few interviews, but regarding Zelda, was that whenever they come up with a new game, the first thing they do is design the core gameplay loop, which is widely considered a game design best practice. Start with a core gameplay loop because that is what makes the game. If you have that down, then your game will be engaging. I might have to.
Samus, you made it. Glad to hear you're feeling better. You've been cleared to please proceed through these doors and up the lift. The Aurora unit is expecting you.
I'll wait again to get all this stuff out of the way before I talk about that. I do like how the environment does feel populated. There's the Federation troopers all around, standing guard. Doesn't feel very empty. Oof. That's kind of disgusting. Talk to Mother Brain here. I'm not. I know it's not Mother Brain. I'm just saying. Mother Brain's already dead. For now.
Welcome, Samus Aran. Let us begin. Time is most critical. During the attempted pirate invasion of Lorien, it was confirmed that two nearby planets were similarly attacked. These planets are named Brio and Elysia. These leviathans have impacted and embedded themselves deep into each planet, spreading a virulent phazon carried inside their bodies. The leviathans must be destroyed. 2 weeks ago, we dispatched runners to Brio, Gore to Elysia, while Gandreda was sent to locate the space pirate stronghold. Like you, they were outfitted with PED devices in order to confront this new threat. We lost contact with all of them 7 days ago, and fear the worst. In their absence, we need you to travel to these Brio. This will be your first objective. Please be on the lookout for any clues that might help us understand what happened to Rundus and the other hunters. Good luck.
It's kind of funny how like an artificial intelligence wishes you good luck. I'm sure they answer it. I can't remember if they do because I've only played this game one time like 20 years ago. But why is it that the other hunters got corrupted and not Samus? Maybe it's because Samus's attachment to Dark Samus. I don't know. I'm sure they explain it. So we'll see. Good luck, Samus.
Samus, the fleet is now moving to the rendezvous location. You will no longer be able to dock with us from this point forward. Rest assured, we will keep communication lines open and supply you with good luck on Brio.
Alright, hopefully we're getting to the Metroid part of a Metroid game. So I learned yesterday that, I didn't know this, but apparently developers from 343 Industries, or the studio 343, which formerly made the original 3 Halo games. 4 Halo games? 3 Halo games. Before Microsoft bought them. Worked on Metroid Prime 4. And from what I've heard, my brother was saying that the beginning of Metroid Prime 4 feels a lot like Halo. And this game actually, that whole sequence just before this felt a lot like Halo, with a combination of, Metroid Prime elements. Definitely more cinematic. Most Metroid games start like, boom, you're here. You're thrown into it right away. But that was a pretty long prologue. Does she have like the writing? So Metroid Prime 2 had this writing on the hull that I'm wanting to like learn how people translated it.
The Leviathan seed is protected by an energy shield. You will not be able to reach it with that barrier active. We need more data to determine how the shield can be disabled. You are near the wreckage of a downed Federation vessel. If you can use the satellite uplink on the ship, prepare to receive the ship.
See this part right here, like I'm starting to see right away. Again, like I played this as a kid. I didn't have any kind of my adult sensibilities and what makes a game Metroid or not. It's like I was just having fun. But now that I'm playing it again, it's like in Metroid Prime 1 and 2, that whole exposition or dialogue or whatever that was just given to me, that would all been figured out through scans. Very little was given to you beyond your own agency to figure it out, and any action that you took. Like I would have had to go up to that shield and scan it, or something like that, or read a logbook or something. That, even though like I could still move around, I still had to stop my gameplay and just kind of look and read and listen before I did anything, because just by the nature of it. And so that right there is just one minor thing that really kind of makes this game feel different from other Metroid games, is that you're instead of discovering the objective, you're being given the objective, which is kind of a big departure from traditional, when I say traditional, Metroid Prime 1 and 2. which again, it's not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of games do that, but it definitely makes it more cinematic, but it does take away a bit from what you the player can do, or how you the player interact with the story. In a negative way, I would say. Not huge, but definitely negative. I mean, this is kind of cool that we have elements of the other hunter who's here. I kept calling him, someone called him Frozone. This guy called him Frozone yesterday. So I'm going to call him Frozone until I can remember his name. But nice to see that they've included some aspects of him in here. See that this is a good example of this whole like yellow paint thing. This didn't start glowing like this until I scanned it. Like I had to actively scan and then determine, okay, this is now scannable. It wasn't like this right when I found it. Okay, I had to take some part to do an action, which scanning, which is what the game expects you to do before this became an active object, an interactive object, excuse me. And I'm forgetting the, okay, wait, I'm forgetting the controls now. There we go. So like, even though you could argue that that is still technically yellow paint, I had the agency to interact with it or not. And if I didn't do what the game expected me to do, then that's kind of on me. The game is trusting me to scan things rather than telling me, hey, scan this. Brielle. I'm just going to take a look at take a listen to my own audio here. So yeah, what I was saying at the beginning of the episode about how they designed this game, it's very clear that Nintendo was like, we have these motion controls, and we're going to use them to the max. And they designed the whole game around it, which is how you should start game development. Always start with your core gameplay loop, because that is the essence of a game. If you start with just like the story, I mean, you can make a good game if you start with just the story or music or art direction or whatever, but it's kind of out of order. Everything should serve the gameplay loop. And if you do that, things coalesce nicely, because it is, at its core, it's a game. You're going to play it. It revolves around the interactivity of the player. Like those enemies with the shields surrounding them, they're like, okay, we're not going to give the player the ability to target them. You have to aim with the Wiimote. And it gives you practice aiming with it. The enemies engaging. Yes, you have to wait, but not really that long. So it's a fun enemy that really lends itself well to the gameplay of Metroid Prime 3. And again, I'll say this again, I'm not an expert at this game. I've only played it once, 20 years ago. So I'll be figuring out most of this on my own. Don't expect any speed running strats or anything like that. Feel free to tell me I'm bad at the game. It's alright. Bioform terminated, subject impaled on ice shard before being frozen. Brutal. What's going on here? Okay, alright, I get it. Just want to scan these guys. Just let me scan you. Wow, okay. Yeah, and the danger of not orienting your game around the gameplay, like not starting, like what I'm basically saying is the practicality of starting with the gameplay loop and getting a fun gameplay loop. Like the practical action is to start with that first and then design everything else, and then everything else that's like the proper order in how to do it. If you don't do that, doesn't mean your game will be bad. It just means it'll run the risk of things not being as like coalesced around something. Which can have the effect of like things seem unnecessary or shifting tones in the game itself. Like the difficulty of a game can really influence the tone of it. And if your game is too difficult, if you don't keep that in mind when like developing these things, you know, if you don't keep in mind that gosh, and these things are really disrupting my train of thought. We'll come back to that one. I feel like the scanning is a bit off in this one. Unable to engage the override and open the doors. Okay, so I got the green one. Oh, I see. Gotta go over here. Gotta get up there somehow. Probably that way. I did have a point about game difficulty and design, but it has escaped me due to these enemies, which I don't like. But yesterday I was perusing X and I saw Rhino the Bouncer. He posted a question as he is wont to do. And it was basically like, should games have difficulty settings? Yes, but that doesn't mean the baseline difficulty shouldn't be perfected. by the developers. Like this kind of goes back to what I was just saying. Everything should serve the gameplay loop and the game experience, including the difficulty. And if you think the game is too hard, well, change it. Oops, can't do that. If it's too easy, change it. But the difficulty itself can be that's part of the artistic expression of the game. Also, you can't, like, systems that are in place that allow you to mess with the difficulty on the fly. They run the risk of, like, difficulty being unnecessary in a sense. Like, why take the time to tweak your difficulty, the difficulty of your game, if the player can just pause the menu and tweak it whenever they want? That to me is like, okay, well, why would I spend the time to do that if I know that some players will just be like, oh, this part's too hard, I'm not going to take the time to get better, which might have the adverse effect of you not taking the time to teach the player properly the game mechanics. You know, it's like, why would I do anything other than throw a text box up there to tell them how to do it when I know that they can just decrease the difficulty? Metal orb is obstructing path but movable by electrographic move object to clear this. Okay. I don't think can I. Don't seem to be able to. Oh, that's hyper mode. Oh, there we go. Hopper. Bioform is encased in solid ice. High temperature shots might shatter it. Little details here. Ever since Metroid Prime 1, the rain on the visor is just really cool. Bouncing off your gun. The small details add to the immersion. Maybe ripped apart with enough force. So, like, again, without telling me, the game has communicated to me that I have to scan things in order to further interact with them. It's at this point, it's intuitive design for Metroid Prime to do that. That's what I mean by, like, teaching the player. Bryonian data translated. Entry Golden Age. Data moved from the log for the logbook review. Look now to the past and to the time of peace on Brio. See the age of gold, when our world was a paradise unrivaled. Hear the songs of joy fill the streets in the royal city as the people honor the coming of Brius the First, the Liberator. Behold the launch of our first ship to the stars, and on that day and witness the rise of science, of a new Brio. See this and see all the beginning of our downfall. Cryptic. Kind of looks like a xenomorph. Oh no, wait, it's just the angle. So more on the difficulty thing. I don't feel like I finished my point with that one. So, sorry, but with difficulty settings being easily adjusted, it would be very easy for developers to kind of not put the time into the gameplay itself of actually teaching the player how to do certain things and giving them ample practice to do so. Like the main structure of any type of game, it's like I'm learning all these abilities as Samus, and then I'm getting a chances to practice them, and eventually I'll probably fight a boss where I'll have to use those abilities. And if I haven't been properly trained to use those abilities, then it's going to be difficult. You know, unless they're really easy. So my big fear is with the ease that which games allow you to lower the difficult. I think games should have difficulty settings because, you know, in general, I think you can tweak your game so that the majority of players will find it appropriate for difficulty. But you will encounter players who find it either too difficult or too easy, and it's good to give them some options there. I do think each difficulty level should be fine-tuned and done right. And by done right, I mean increasing difficulty settings should not just be increase the health of the enemy and increase the amount of damage it does. You know, there should be different enemies. There should be different obstacles. There should be maybe different puzzles that are thrown in. Something to make the gameplay, the new difficulty level, have more of a different experience. You know, it increases replayability if you do that. Games that do this really well are the more modern Ninja Gaiden games, the 3D ones, and Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and they really do. When you go into a different difficulty, you're not just going to encounter enemies that do more damage and have more health. You will encounter that, but you'll also encounter different enemies and different obstacles. So yeah, games should definitely have difficulty settings. They should be fine-tuned. They should provide different experiences and increase replayability, but they shouldn't be extremely easy to tweak. You know, the player should have to at least exit the game and start a new file before changing a difficulty. Morning, Eamon. Happy New Year's Eve. It's good to see you. Panel mounting Spirited Week. You'll see I progressed a little bit on my own. Any big plans for New Year's Eve? My parents are flying in, and we're gonna go get a bunch of Chinese food and eat it. That's our big plan for New Year's Eve. It's gonna be great. Mojoner class War Golem is without power, unable to activate with current suit upgrades. Oh. Means I can activate it at some point. Ooh. Oh, these are the locals. Why don't they like me? Reptilicus Hunter. Target can generate a personal cloaking field around its body. That's unfortunate. Oh, it's Phazon corruption has granted Reptilicus Hunters the ability to cloak themselves. They use this to their advantage and will hide or move positions while cloaked to gain the upper hand in combat. Reptilicus hunters are fairly organized despite their primitive nature, usually attacking in small groups. They patiently wait for their prey to become isolated in a locked area before attacking. Their weaponry consists of an energy whip for close range, chakram for long range attacks, and they have the adapted to harsh climates of Brio and are quite resistant to fuel gel and heat-based attacks. Alright. Nothing tricky here, just shoot them a lot and they'll die. They are quite durable, it seems. Okay, he's dead. They should do the whole, like, flashing red thing when it's about to die. Like in the old arcade games. Done. Got your popcorn and tons of snacks. Don't want to... Yeah, I'll run that by my wife. Honey, can you just watch the kids for 24 hours while I do a stream? Maybe if, like, if I was making money from this. If I could, like, guaranteed make $1,000 for this stream, she would probably be like, yeah, you can stream for 24 hours if you can make $1,000. I'll stream 48 hours for that. Definitely had some Raptor feel there. Ooh, a new computer. Seek the sky. That's pretty fancy. Is it a desktop, laptop, Linux, Windows, Mac? What'd you spring for? New Game Plus, good to see you. I feel like it's been a few days since you've joined us. Bryonan data translated. Age of Science. Data moved to logbook. The ships of Brio spread to the stars in all directions, bearing the banner of peace. Soon we found stellar brethren in the Chozo, the Luminoth, and the Yila. Starborn knowledge came to Brio, and we gladly sent our wisdom to our new friends in return. The hearts of Brio were filled with pride, and they honored the lords of science for all the wonders we provided. As the time of new Brio came to be, the old ways faded. Cries of joy from those who honored science covered the angry shouts of those who mourned the old ways, the primal traditions. Getting some That Hideous Strength vibes, if anybody's ever read that book from these guys. Excuse me. It's an M1 Max MacBook Pro. That sounds intense. Gotta bust out the VTuber model. That's sweet. Yeah, I've been working on that. Someone make me a VTuber model. What do you think of the ped suit? This is the second time the Yila are mentioned and never again. What's the first time? Are they in Metroid Prime 2? Did I not read that? The ped suit, when it was introduced, I did talk about it. I do like the design of the ped suit. I still think that the at least in Prime 1, the original Prime trilogy, the light suit is my favorite. I think it's just very unique. But the ped suit does look really cool. Or the PED suit. Yeah, I probably skipped over it. That's a shame. But, you know, I'm okay. I'm okay with them not being mentioned again. It's, you know, the whole less is more thing adds something for us to wonder about and think about. I can't grapple that yet, right? I mean, I know that there's a cool suit in MP4. Someone posted it, and it was really annoying. I hate that I saw it, so... yeah, that's what I thought. I have the grapple beam lasso. The grapple lasso, but not the grapple beam. Yes, no spoilers for Prime 4, please. I hate spoilers with a passion. Okay. Oh, it looks like I can't get out of here, so I am stuck in here. I just got to figure out where to go. Whee! Oh, look at that. Or this is where I came from. Big ball thing flying in the air. That's interesting. There's a tunnel in here. I missed it probably. Aha! Statue contains several liters of unstable fluid. Igniting the gel may destroy the statue. Well, alright then. Spoilers, man. Oh, they make you float. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Thank you. I don't know how old you guys are, but I imagine that you're around my age, given the demographics of my viewership. But I did have that spoiled for me when Harry Potter came out. The whole Snape kills Dumbledore thing. Back then, I was a youngin' and I didn't really care too much about Harry Potter. I read the books after they all came out. So it really, in hindsight, it upset me, but also, you know, whatever. Oh, these things. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Whee! That thing's kind of creepy. Thank you. Oh, that's so annoying. I had a friend who, you know, back in the day when movie theaters, you had to, like, popular movies you actually had to, like, line up for. And, you know, you had to just rush into the theater to get the best seats. He was coming out of the theater, and the movie, I forget what movie it was, it had a big plot twist. And he just blurted out, "Oh man, I can't believe that happened at the end." And all these people in line, like, heard him say it. And he just like spoiled the movie as people were about to walk into it. Nowadays, you just have to filter out certain keywords on X or social media if you want to avoid spoilers. I feel like most people are good about it. Oh, of course. Maverick Hunter Designs. Did he get decked? I do want bombs. Did I miss bombs or something? No, I don't think he got decked, but... people were not happy with him. Speaking of Darth Vader, I definitely have a goal of keeping my kids away from that spoiler so I can film them watching Star Wars and learning that Darth Vader is Luke's father. So it's one of my goals. That's one of the, this is an internet trend I want to continue on with my family. Oh yeah. Gotta also continue the trend of you guys explaining your jokes to me. The internet is undefeated. I mean, as far as your question, Eamon, about Maverick Hunter or Maverick Designs, really the only ones I'm super duper familiar with are X1, 2, and 3, and a couple of the NES games. So I'm definitely partial to the SNES X trilogy designs. Like some of the core Mega Man games, those bosses, they look cool. Some of them are a little bit goofy and cartoonish. So that's kind of why I'm partial to the X trilogy, or just X in general designs. They're a bit more intense. I'm trying to think of ones that I really like. Oh, whoa. Reptilicus teleports across short distances, highly aggressive and territorial. Scans a mutation that allow the Reptilicus to teleport over short distances. Commonly used as a combat tactic to corner and trap their prey. So they're like Nightcrawler. Suffer from phazon corruption. All higher thought processes have been replaced by savage bloodlust. This corruption has also increased their resistance to heat-based attacks. Okay, again, they're just really tough. Not as tough as the other ones, thankfully. Cool design, though. No, I have to save hyper mode for when I really need it, okay? You don't know when I'm Don't make me turn against hyper mode. I don't want hyper mode to just become another sword mode like in Echoes of Wisdom. But I will do it next time just to see how it works. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Whee. All right. Still off the line. You guys missed it at the beginning. I failed the first part of the activate the cannon for the planet. I went the wrong way into a morph ball puzzle. And then the whole screen went white and I died and I saw the ending, the death screen, which is quite bloody. Down vessel Griffin class frigate identified as a GFS Theseus. Well, they're still off the line, but as Joker says, an explained joke is no joke at all. That's right. Might be a good idea to blast mode. The cool thing about hyper mode is that you can drop out of it and regain the HP you didn't use. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I don't recall them explaining that it drained my HP. When the doctor was telling me about it, she said it lasted for 25 seconds. It cuts off automatically, but I don't recall them saying it drained HP. But that's a cool way to kind of limit it. Can hyper mode kill this thing? Nope. Connect to the main distributor in this room. Distributor is currently offline. Okay. Oh, that's right. Unit 1 steers power rods. Connect the rods to restore the power. Okay. Can I kill this thing? Kind of annoying. They're sustained by their core, which generates a constant supply of electricity when in abundance. Oh yes, that's right. It's taking my energy. You're right. I don't read things in this game. I just wait for you to tell me what to do. Bird o'clock. All right. There we go. Night barbs earlier. Do not be confused. The ones with the dark aether. Yeah. That's cool. That's a nice new function for getting the map, of allowing you to have different areas to land in. Like, I do really like how they utilize the ship in this game.
Data has revealed two distinct energy signatures. They must be supplying power to the siege shield. If these targets are eliminated, the shield will be removed. We are uploading the location of each energy signature and nearby.
Okay. Alright, there we go. Okay, so I mentioned this before you guys arrived, but this is where I feel like the big departure of Metroid comes from. Alright. In Metroid Prime 1 and 2, and in other Metroid games, or just let's just for 1 and 2, that this wouldn't have happened. The map would have panned out shown the 2 landing spaces, maybe this, and then that's it. But the objective given to me by the mother brain unit, I forget its name, I'm just going to call it that. Like, all of that would have been something that I had to discover. Like, I would have to scan something to do that. But because this game is what it is and has voice acting and wants to be more cinematic, we have now this computer talking to me, and I have to stop and listen. Whereas in Metroid Prime 1 and 2, I would have had to just go to those places and figure out what to do, and maybe learn all that stuff by scanning it or not learning it. You know, as you guys have noted, I forget to scan things and read things sometimes. So that's where I feel like a lot of people didn't like Metroid Prime 3 as much, because it did start to have that departure from the original Metroid Primes 1 and 2. I think I have to come back here. Like a big oh, there he is. Frozone. Like, a big thing about all Metroid games is that you're just kind of thrown into this maze and you got to figure it out. Being given objectives, which is why people complained about Metroid Fusion, is not very Metroid-y, if I were to be so bold to say. Again, it doesn't mean the game is bad, it just means it's different from what we know a Metroid game to be. And if you get enough of those instances where the game changes, it's like, why make a Metroid game at all? Why not just make a new game? Okay. I mean, it came out. That's the thing. It's hard to measure what people complained about and what people didn't complain about around that time, because it was early days of the internet, and all of us gamers were still really young. But modern day, you know, retrospectives on the series will show that Fusion is a great game, but it's very linear compared to other 2D Metroids, like even Metroid Dread. Alpha Hopper spits venom at prey at distance, uses talents in close combat. Alpha Hopper characterized by their unique color and durable hide. They are highly territorial and will attack any creature who wanders too close to their nest. When hunting in packs, they will often keep their distance, while others will move into attack, like the raptors in Jurassic Park. Like all hoppers, their legs end in sharp talons and can be used to shred through the prey. It gets close enough. There's more of them. Just trying to see the difference here. See, okay. I'm gonna withhold huge judgments on the hyper mode, but that the hyper mode made that a little too easy and not as costly. Like you said, I was able to go in and out of it and just regain my health. And I'm not sure, like, if I can do that, and it's only going to get easier because I'm going to get more E-tanks, but I don't know. Right now I'm feeling like that's a little too overpowered for the game. Prime 3 is a bit of an ebb and flow in terms of combat. Either enemies are hit sponges against the power beam or disintegrate by the hyper beam. Well, you just wait. Okay, I will wait. You're right. You're right. Gotta just be patient with it. I'm only an hour or so into the game, and I've only played it once. Phazon suit does look a little cool. I wish the color saturation was a bit higher, but you know, whatever. There will be a twist. Oh, okay, good. I don't remember the twist, which is good because this will be a different experience. All right, guys, unfortunately, I do have to call it a day here. Got some things to take care of before New Year's Eve festivities and picking my parents up at the airport, but I hope you guys have a happy new year. I'll probably be, well, depending on how late I stay up, you know, my wife and I, we still go to bed at normal times most New Year's Eves, but we'll see how things go tonight. But maybe tomorrow, because most people will be probably just sleeping in, I'll play some. If I do stream, it'll be something different. It won't be Metroid Prime 3 or anything Metroid, so. I could be persuaded to play a bit longer. Got to get that 24-hour stream going at some point. But yeah, sorry. Just don't have the time right now. Maybe someday when I'm making a living off of this, if that ever happens, God willing. You know, we'll stream for longer intervals, but thank you guys. I appreciate the support and the chatting. It's honestly, I do have a lot of fun with these. I hope you enjoy them as well. And I'm definitely open to suggestions on games to play and how to change things up on the stream. All right, guys, have a great day. Happy New Year. And if I don't see you tomorrow, if I stream, I'll catch you a couple days from now. So. All right. Later.